Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and today we're out here to test this Bergara B14R heavy barreled action. Now, if you're not familiar with Bergara, they sell the B14R, and you can basically buy that two different ways. You can buy it as a complete rifle for around $1,000, and you can buy it as a barreled action for around $600. Now, the original variant that I'm talking about has a thinner profile barrel. It's about 18 inches long. Well, I think they probably realized that most guys were stepping up to Vudoo and Rimx's, getting a heavier profile barrel. So Bergara came out with the B14R Heavy. Now this is sold only as a barreled action. What that means, it is a barrel, an action, a trigger, and you get 1 or 2 mags. And the only place you can buy that in the US is from A&J Sporting. And I have this on loan for T&E, which basically means they shipped it to me, I get to shoot it. Later on, if I like it, I get to buy it, usually at a discounted rate. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I don't know what that rate's going to be. That's probably largely going to depend on how you guys respond to this video. If you want to see more out of it, I am running the Arken SH4J Gen 2, trying to keep everything budget. And what we're going to do is shoot through a bunch of different ammo. So we're going to shoot SK Standard Plus, then SK Rifle Match, then SK Long Range Match. Then we're going to step up to Lapua Long Range. Then we're going to shoot RWS Special Match. And then we're going to try 2 different random lots of Ely Match, all shooting at 50 yards just to see how this performs. Then we are going to do a part 2 in a few days where I am going to install a Timney hit trigger onto this, because I think that's probably one of the first upgrades most people will do. And we are going to install bolt shims. Again, YouTube reviewer who's watching this is a completely factory unmodified rifle that we are shooting today. We are not modifying anything. We're not showing anybody how to modify anything. But we have the target camera up. I have 10 rounds of SK Standard Plus loaded up, and we're going to shoot some groups. We'll talk a little bit more about this, obviously. So the trigger that you get with it is adjustable. And it comes down to maybe a little over 2 pounds, semi-curved. And a lot heavier than what I'm used to. But it does have a nice clean break. Alright. And this is what I use to sight this rifle in. And I'm not surprised it doesn't like Standard Plus. All right, so yeah, SK Standard Plus, this barreled action doesn't like it. I already knew that coming in. Really don't know about the rest of this ammo though. But yeah, I mean, that is rimfire, guys. If you can tell me about a rifle, I can tell you about a factory box of ammo that it does not shoot well. Just is what it is. So this is very much a learning part of this, where we're just gonna see how it performs generally across these random lots of ammo. All right, so going to Rifle Match, a little bit higher on the price scale, quality scale, and all that. As you can see, this has been feeding really well. Now, does the action feel like a Vudoo or Rimx? No. This is the factory 10-round mag, and I just stuck it in this XLR MA Pro, and it has fed great, which is what I was curious about. So both those are done. SK Long Range and Rifle Match. Actually, let's go, sorry, the SK Standard Plus, SK Rifle Match, no good for this barrel. See there, it's kind of split in groups. That's typically what I see when it's just not happy with that particular, ammunition. A lot of times they'll split groups like that. And if you get something like that, best to just move on and test something else. All right. Long range match. starting to look a little better. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't be using any of those three. All right, so we're gonna step up the price point here and we're gonna shoot some Lapua long range out of this guy. It's kind of more affordable out of the Lapua long range stuff is you have long range and then super long range. Now I would like to point out what you're seeing on the target camera is totally normal for testing rim fires. No matter how good the barrel of action is, whether it's a Rimx or a Vudoo, you're gonna shoot certain ammos and it's just not going to like it. And it's all part of the learning your rifle process. This is what I do with any rifle, but for this I chose to shoot a bunch because we're gonna baseline this. We're gonna come back in part 2 with the bolt shims and the aftermarket trigger, and we're gonna see if that gives us any performance, because we're still talking very little money invested at that point. You know, those aren't huge upgrades that cost a ton of money and very common. So let's see how the Lapua does. Yep, that's a lot better. That was the same hole. Oh yeah, just in time. Like I said, you just got to find the right ammo. So Lapua long range seems to be pretty happy in this. We're gonna go over to the special match. Now the first group I shoot, I don't want you guys to pay much attention to. I'm actually gonna put 15 rounds out because we're switching lubrication. Sometimes I see that makes absolutely no difference. Sometimes it makes all the difference in the world, but let's just agree to ignore the first one unless it's really, really good, and then we won't ignore it, and we'll be pleasantly surprised. But RWS special match. That was a lot hotter. All right, I don't know how many that was, but we're gonna move over. I think it's settled in. Not bad though. All right, let's load the last 5. Now you can see how that first one was really high. That was because it had that Lapua lubrication in it. And then they kind of settled down. See how this group looks. Ain't a thing in the world wrong with that. All right, so far 2 very good ammos out of this. Same thing here. We're gonna shoot 15 out of this first lot of Ely match because we're changing lubrications again. So 5 shots typically is enough for me to kind of see that new lube come in and things to settle down. People will argue, it's very subjective. I used to clean the barrel in between, but I shoot in between ammo types all the time, very, very commonly. And I no longer clean my barrel in between. It doesn't bring anything to me, doesn't show me anything I'm not already seeing. We're just shooting 5 to 10 rounds of the new ammo through it. So let's see what the Elite match will do. Okay, that one leaked a little high. All right, not crazy good, but not bad. Random lot, shoot 5 more of this, and then we will just shoot 10 of the last lot. Oh, don't you do this to me, Ely. All right. Womp, womp, womp. You hate to see it. Next random lot. So here we go. Next lot of random lot of Ely match. Come on, Ely. Yeah, one leaked out there. You hate to see it. But there you have it. As you can see, Ely match, or at least these two lots, not that great. The SK stuff, not great. Not a great showing. But these two, I think, killed it. For a factory barreled action, I think this shows you that this rifle has potential. But I hope you guys had a good look and got a good idea about this rifle. I am impressed. You know, again, it's not going to shoot every lot of ammunition perfect. You know, it's not going to happen. But it did shoot this Lapua long range very well. It did shoot the special match very well. I can see that the rifle wants to shoot, and I see no issues with it. The bolt and action, you know, yeah, they're not Rimx or Vudoo. This is a lot better than the other barreled action that I had. If you guys remember, I had Jonathan and Modicam slick that up because it was so hard to close. It was crazy, but this one feels pretty good. The trigger, again, semi-curved, totally adjustable. This basically has no take up, and then a very, very crisp break at about 2 pounds. You can adjust it down to 2 pounds, and really usable, especially for a trainer. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.